Hello and welcome to PalaceFanTV for our December review video part 2 here at the Victory Club in Norwood. I'm Jim Daly and of course I've got with me Jay Crame from the Eagle's Beak and Terence Ford from redandbluearmy.com. How you doing, lads?
Hello, good, thanks.
Are you ready for the power rankings?
Really excited.
Always. Before we get to them, we've got a few things to go through first. So in our review videos part 2, we always look at the loan report for Palace players out on loan. Be a short one this month because they've all come back, haven't they, Terence? They've all been recalled.
Yeah, pretty much. Kai came back and I think he was probably in the reckoning for the first team but got injured in training.
Yeah.
Why not? That's what everyone does at Palace.
Common theme, isn't it?
And Jake Gray did extend his loan at
Hartlepool.
That was announced today. I was like, Hartlepool. And Johnny Williams obviously came back and actually got into the first team. So
good to see Johnny Esther back, wasn't it? Jay?
It was, yeah.
Fans' favourite.
Yeah, gave the crowd a lift even though we were 3-0 down against Chelsea.
Yeah.
Biggest cheer of the day when he came on.
Yeah.
And it had a touch of the ball a couple of times. The game was gone obviously, but you know, good couple of touches.
Good chance for Johnny.
Hopefully.
Is this Johnny Esther's biggest chance to finally get a grip on the first team?
I'm hoping that he stays, doesn't go out on loan again. I think he'll learn more training with Kabaya than he will being out on loan at a club. I think hopefully if he doesn't take his chance now, I think.
yeah, well, Pardew said as much. He even said he's hardly been tearing it up at Forest, so he's got a lot to prove.
Yeah.
But this is a chance, take the chance. It was quite funny on Twitter. I had some random photographer send me a picture of Johnny Esther saying, really great reception for Tommy Williams when he came off the bench.
Tommy
So I was like, yeah, it was great to see Tommy back, and people started wading in with names. And the best one I saw was, he had a good game along with Chung Young Steve, which is very good.
Oh, good. Well, all the best to Johnny Esther. We'd all love to see him, I think, really make it at Palace. The women's team, we always do an update on them. How have they been getting on, Jay?
Yeah, they've just had a winter break. They're coming back to play this week and had a game called off at the weekend actually because of the terrible weather conditions. But leading up to winter break, unbeaten in their division, top of the table. I think the next 3 games are pivotal for them. They're playing the 3 teams immediately below them in games. So I think they're 5 points clear at the moment. So fingers crossed. They play in the Women's FA Cup this weekend against West Ham, who are in a division above, which is a division they strive to be in for next season. So be a good guide as to how they're doing. So fingers crossed for them.
Yeah, best of luck. That's fantastic. I mean, imagine if they go the season unbeaten. That'd be incredible, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Fantastic stuff. Okay, so we normally now, I ask you guys for your player of the month and your performance of the month. So player of the month for December and a little bit of January for you, Terence.
Well, I'm strictly going to keep it to December because January sort of defeats the object of my player of the month. But I don't know. I think Jay's going to say the same thing. It's Wayne Hennessy. I think it's really hard to see anywhere else. We said in the last video he's taken the number 1 shirt, which was up for grabs. I think he's pretty much come in and made that his own. And he's just pulled off some amazing saves in that time as well and earned us points. Earned us a point at Everton. He earned us arguably 2 points against Southampton at home with saves. So I can't look past Hennessy.
What about you, Jay? Hennessy as well?
It's got to be Jason Puncheon, isn't it? No, I'm kidding. Wayne Hennessy for me, definitely. I mean, he's won us points in big games, particularly Southampton game. Preserved 3 points with that late save from Shane Long. So yeah, I agree with Terence. Great month. He's taken the number 1 jersey himself and proved that he's worthy of it. So yeah.
And he's almost pretty much ended the debate really about goalkeepers, which we've had all season.
What's great about him as well is he's got a bit of Nigel Martin about him. Not any way he looks or even how he keeps goal, but the way he kicks. Yeah. I always remember as a kid being a goalkeeper and just watching Nigel Martin just punt the ball the whole length of the field, and I could just about reach the D of my own penalty area. You know, and he does that a lot, and he just immediately transfers pressures onto back lines if they start to come too high up the pitch, which is a pretty good thing to have because of the amount of pace we have. It allows players to get in behind from a starting position at the back, so it's very good.
There's a good example of that against Chelsea actually, where we got a throw in right on the corner flag at the other end. So yeah, great distribution.
So performance of the month. Is it going to be from Hennessy again, Terence?
I guess we're going to say the same thing. Probably Hennessy against Stoke. Southampton. Sorry, at home. The save from Davies' header is brilliant. Like no one else saves that in our team. Speroni can't save that. McCarthy can't save that because his height has got him there. And you can see Davies is already wheeling away thinking that he scored. Unbelievable save. And then in the last minute against Shane Long, and Shane Long is a good finisher. He'd buried Manuel Neuer from almost the exact same position for Ireland against Germany a few weeks before. So he's shown that you can score from that sort of position. And I celebrated that save like a goal, which is rare for fans to do that, but a lot of Sellers Park did it as well because it was the last kick of the game.
And it secured a very, very good win for Palace as well. Are you going to go with Hennes as well then?
Well, I was going to, but I'm going to be slightly different, and from the same game, I'm going to go for Connor Wickham.
Oh, okay.
Because I think he had an excellent game. And it was a game of two keepers actually, that game, wasn't it? Because Gazaniga made about 4 or 5 great saves, stopped Wickham scoring on 3 occasions. I think my overriding memory, I think it was that game where Connor Wickham took the ball down with one foot and had a shot with the other in it, and the keeper just got to it full stretch. And I thought it was in. I thought that was going to be his goal. I thought he played really well. Hennessy probably just nicks it, but I'm just going to go for Wickham because I think for me it proves what we're missing at the moment since he's been injured.
Absolutely. Good. Well, good choice. Well, let's see how does your choices there affect the power rankings, because these are how the power rankings stood at the end of November. Will we see for you guys Hennessy creep into the top 5 given his performances in December?
Well, I think just the importance of him solving such a crisis that we was having, with McCarthy came in and looked good at the start, but then made several errors that cost us points. So Hennessy came in, everyone thought it was going to be Speroni when he'd get fit again and so on, and he looks a little bit shaky at the start, but in December he's just gone, no, we run of games. This is why I'm where are Wales in the rankings? 9th in the world. This is why I'm number 9 goalkeeper in the world. I don't think it quite works like that. But he's solved that mini crisis for us. So I think for that and his performances in December as well, he probably comes onto that list.
Well, the question then is who drops out of our list, because previously in the season 5 very good performers here, but one of them's got to drop out then for Hennessy or anyone else you want to put in the top 5. Should we start with MacArthur? Should MacArthur still be at number 1? He's had a great season. Chelsea game, by his own admission, was an off day, but is he still number 1 for you, Jay?
I think he drops down a little bit for me. He looked tired against Swansea as well. He's a lot of football like all the footballers have, but I think the type of game he plays, he needs to be fully fit to allow him to do so. His own admission, he was didn't have a great game against Chelsea. Like I say, Swansea, he looked a bit tired. So through no particular fault of his own, I don't think. I think you can allow players. We expect to see him do what he does every game, and I think it was just more noticeable against Chelsea.
Well, he's like a 7 or an 8 out of 10 every game, and then when he has a 5 or a 6, it's very noticeable.
It is, yeah.
So who goes top then, Terence? Who's top for our?
Johan Cabaye goes back up there, mainly in his absence. He hasn't even needed to play to move back to the top on the grounds that we've seen how much we've missed him when he's not been there. And I think he is absolutely pivotal to everything that we do. He pulls all of the strings, gets it started from the back, going forward, he distributes the ball well, pulls players about, makes the players around him play better. I think he moves back to the top.
He was superb against Southampton as well, wasn't he? And a lovely goal as well.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put Cabaye top. So where does Hennessy come into our top 5 then?
Well, for me, I would say it's Balassi, similarly in his absence, moves up as well, because without him,
you do know these are based on player performances that have played.
But he had good performances in December as well.
Yeah,
and it's across the whole season, right? So
okay,
and their importance in those, through missing in those games, makes their performances earlier in the season more prominent.
Well, you're going to be getting so many comments from people right now disagreeing.
I don't know. Based on the season and how well Balassi's done, he's scoring goals now.
Yeah, he is scoring goals.
We haven't scored goals when he is not on the field. For me, he moves up.
And he did have some good, good games in December as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not putting him second. I think Dan probably jumps up to second.
The same thing.
Yeah. Scored a goal in that month. We've kept a few clean sheets.
Yeah. And then Hennessy maybe into 3rd or 4th then for you guys?
I think it may be harsh moving MacArthur down that far.
MacArthur into 3rd, possibly.
MacArthher into 3rd.
Yeah, because we're talking, season over the season, aren't we? Rather than just can't drop him out completely.
So possibly Wilf loses out.
I think so. he just hasn't kicked on this month. You know, he hasn't particularly done anything.
I think he's missed Balassi.
Yeah,
I think he's had a lot of pressure on his shoulders to be the man to do what we want to see from our wingers, and he's been alone in being able to do that. He's no fault on his effort at all. He's continually tried to do it. He's got frustrated at times, when players have fouled him, and I wish he'd just leave that and just get on with, like Blassie does. He gets fouled and gets on with the game. I wish he'd just leave that bit aside and just take it as a compliment that they're doing that. But for me, I think he looks a player a little bit under pressure rather than free of shackles, which Blassie allows him to.
He needs Yannick there to sort of bully the defenders for him a little bit, doesn't he?
It rips open the space for him. Teams can't double team him, which is what happens to him every time Balassi's not on the field, or when Zaha's not on the field. The same thing happens to Balassi. The difference is for Balassi, he can rough it up a bit more with them, and he'll stay on his feet more. Where Zaha always looks to go to ground and pick up the free kick, which he usually doesn't get anyway.
So he did win a penalty up at Stoke, didn't he?
He did, yes. It's just the stupidest challenge I've ever seen. I think I'm not really sure what he's doing. I was walking back to Stoke Station. There were a lot of Stoke fans really unhappy about that challenge, especially then because it stopped a really good run. If you take that loss out, I think they would have won 4 on the bounce. I think Balassi moves up to 4 and Hennessy
comes in to 5. Okay, fantastic. Well, I think start of the season, we'd have been surprised to see a keeper in the top 5, I think, wouldn't we, given the crisis? So it speaks volumes, I guess, about how well that Hennessy has played.
Well, based on my rules about players' absences, maybe we should have had Speroni on there.
Oh, poor Jules. Are we going to see Jules back in the first team at Palace?
I really hope he plays at Southampton in the FA Cup.
Okay, perfect game for him.
Yeah, and get a run in a cup just on the grounds that he's just such a small handful of appearances away from all sorts of Palace records. So goalkeeping records, of course. So it would be really nice to see him get that, because I feel like he deserves it for the servant he's been. But I think he's going to struggle to get back into a Premier League team now.
I absolutely agree. Well, there you go. Those are the power rankings at the end of December. So we'll be back at the end of January, see how much those have changed. Given the games in January. That's it for part 2. If this is the first one you're watching for December, there is a part 1 as well, so check that out where we reviewed Palace's games in December. Don't forget to comment below with your thoughts on the power rankings. Give us your power rankings. Do they match these, or are they different? Subscribe for PalaceFanTV videos, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Snapchat. We're doing snaps for every game this season. And that's it from us here, so see you soon.